Olmanroamin here, haven't seen you for a while. Last week I got an invitation to drive to Ukraine, of all places, with a convoy of jeeps delivering humanitarian aid. On Thursday I met these bunch of mad people outside Trimfold. The trip was organised by Luba in the green jacket and her husband Eugene in the blue gloves. Part of the convoy was this mad woman Margot, who was my co-driver, and Veronica beside her, who was a beautiful lady. We filled the jeeps with lots of humanitarian aid and wheelchairs and assembled outside Trimfold. Community Garda Adele escorted us across town, which was a lovely gesture.
What, 13 did he say?
Lane 13.
Lane 13.
I don't know where to go. Down, yeah.
Okay, there's 13. Yeah.
Okay.
The place is empty. Why is he telling me to take lane 13? 13 isn't unlucky for some.
It's,
Sorry, you did the video.
I'm doing a video, yeah.
Okay, 13 is a lucky number.
Where's everyone else gone?
There.
Oh, they're over there heading for the boat. Okay.
13
Oh,
is
so can jump in behind them then, yeah. Oh yeah, this is great.
Should we give him some?
We literally queued for 5 minutes and then we were on board. On board, the crew assembled. That's me on the left, Luba beside me, lady from the boat, Chris behind her, Eugene, Luba's husband, Francis, their son. Harry, the sweeper, made sure we all stayed in line. Johnny, who was a co-driver, Margot, my co-driver, and Veronica, just out of picture, drove solo and like Michael Schumacher. Margot put these on the dash. It was her first time driving abroad. Here we are going across North France, and that picture never changed very much. One jeep after another, mile after mile after mile. Broken only by toll booths in France. We must have paid 50 euros in tolls just to get across north of France. But we rolled along all the time. Comment there at New Bridge. Now we had problems with this jeep on the way. It was overheating. We put a band-aid on the radiator there, as you can see, but it didn't stop the. We used walkie-talkies to communicate between the 6 jeeps so that we were all on the same hymn sheet and we knew where we were going. Driving to Poland, West Germany and Poland. Beautiful sunrise. We were driving east and the sun was coming up straight up over the middle of the road. Here's Luba taking a photograph of me, taking a photograph of her, the usual stuff. Then the signs started to change more towards a language we didn't understand. Eventually we arrived at the border. Huge queues of trucks, but we were escorted past them all. And seemingly humanitarian aid. Look at this. We overtake even the smaller vehicles and go right to the top of the queue so that we were all processed together for a start. But I'm sure it must have pissed off those guys who'd been waiting there for hours. At the border, we're not allowed photograph at the border, so I took a sneaky one here and another one here, but it's a customs shed, that's all it is. Then we went through the border, and at the back of a supermarket, we met these guys. Absolutely lovely bunch of guys. There was a kind of a handing over ceremony, flags. They produced vodka, of course, and we gave them T-shirts. They gave us T-shirts. My T-shirt was perhaps a bit on the small side, but I entered into the spirit of things anyway. And we had our very faded national flag as well. So we had the two Ukrainian flags, an Irish flag held up by a fat man and a Welsh man. So, it was wonderful. Very, very, very multi-glot kind of a day. The photographs don't show how I felt when we got to this supermarket, and we lined up the jeeps there and presented them with gave them the paperwork and everything like that. But I don't know what it was, but I was just totally overcome with emotion when I met these guys. I could hardly talk. I was in tears. I mean, we were giving them a couple of clapped out Jeeps, and I think we were giving them Rolls Royce Phantoms or something like that. This is the obligatory photograph with all those guys. Lovely bunch of guys, ordinary guys, not, you know what I mean, not soldiers, not fighters, just ordinary guys. You know, we stayed there probably about an hour, I suppose. Then we came back across the border and had a nice night in Krakow. Next morning we had a celebratory breakfast. So it was, and that was a lovely day. And we had more or less a day in Krakow because our flight wasn't until 10 o'clock that night. So we had a lovely leisurely breakfast at about 10 or 11, and then we kind of split up. Some of us did the tour of the Jewish quarter in Krakow. This is Oskar Schindler's factory, where he made, where he saved Jews, and he made defective tins and items for the German army, and it's still there. It's now a museum, but it's still that classical Art Deco building. The rest of the Jewish quarter is beautiful now. It's very trendy nowadays with little bars and cafes and things. But you know, it has come on an awful lot since they built walls across the ends of the streets. And we saw a couple of the remains of some of the walls there, just to show us. This is not a synagogue. This is a Catholic church. This picture was sent back to us by the guys from Ukraine a couple of days after they had received the Jeeps. They, I won't say militarized them, but they painted them green anyway, so that you know, I don't know why, but they did. And these pictures here are just a recap. Me and one of the guys, and the guys again. It was, as I said, it was a very emotional afternoon meeting these guys, and then we had a kind of a longish walk back. So I think that's the end of the video for now. Thank you so much indeed.